And body cam footage showing what led up to police shooting and killing a man in Salt Lake City. ABC4's Courtney Johns joining us live in studio with a closer look at exactly what happened. Courtney.
Yeah, we looked over 12 separate body cam videos provided by police, most of which start with officers surrounding a car, telling people inside to get out. But within a matter of minutes, things escalate with police shooting a man inside a stranger's home.
Get out of the car!
January 13th, around 2:30 in the morning, Salt Lake City police say their gang unit was investigating two wanted fugitives when they found Penasamani Halai and a passenger near 1300 West Arapahoe Avenue. Police say Halai hit a parked car and drove through a yard.
He's driving through the fence.
Also hitting two of their vehicles.
They just crashed.
While the passenger stays in the car, police say Halai ran towards a stranger's home.
Show me your hands! Show me your hands! Watch it! He's about to pull something out of his pocket. Get on the ground! He has something in his hands!
10 seconds pass. 2 shots fired.
Taser! Get on the ground!
And a taser deployed. Halai then goes through a glass window. Officers surround the home.
1, 2, 3. We gotta get in there.
Looking for Halai.
Stop right now!
All videos released to the public end with the same final shots.
Salt Lake City Police!
Salt Lake City police tell us they did find a weapon, inside that home after they went inside. We also asked them if Halai or the other man in the vehicle were the two fugitives police were looking for. They said this case is still under investigation and they cannot release any more information at this time. Back to you.
Thank you, Courtney. Salt Lake City Police Chief Mike Brown is releasing a comment on this situation tonight, saying, based on the information I've reviewed, our officers performed quickly and professionally. Going on to say, I cannot imagine being woken up in the middle of the night by a stranger with a weapon inside my home. Brown goes on to say, I know our officers relied on their training to protect our community and each other. 4 police officers are on paid administrative leave pending the results of an investigation. In a traffic alert, they are back. The Elk in Salt Lake City back at it this morning, causing more traffic trouble. Herd of elk crossing I-80 this morning near the mouth of Parley's Canyon. 2 of the elk were hit and killed. 2 others injured, had to be euthanized. UDOT stopping traffic to help the elk safely cross, but the herd split up and they just were not able to control it as they would have liked to. Utah DWR is asking people to avoid this area if possible, but if it's not, make sure to drive slowly and watch out for those animals.
We want to thank the public for their cooperation on slowing down in this area and being patient at this time. And hopefully we can get those elk up the mountain safely.
DWR hoping warmer temperatures hit the state soon and melt some of that snow away so that the elk can go back up to the mountains. The elk that died were donated to a game meat donation program. All right, let's head over for a first look at the forecast on this Wednesday. Meteorologist Nate Larson in for Alana Brophy tonight, and it's gradually getting warmer around here, Nate.
Yeah, we'll take whatever small wind with temperatures we can with as cold as it's been. We hit freezing today in Salt Lake. We're still dealing with colder than normal temperatures again tomorrow and overnight, but we are going to see some improvement for your Thursday. Overlooking the Wasatch Front, the Salt Lake Valley from Ensign Peak, you can see some of the haze that's already building across the valley locations. Moderate air quality being reported across much of the Wasatch Front for Salt Lake and Utah counties. Northerly flow, northwesterly flow, in fact, in place as high pressure is building across the western states is going to keep us dry and relatively clear as far as overnight cloud cover is concerned. Temperatures, though, able to drop yet again below average by a good 10-15 degrees for most locations with this pattern in place. Bit of a warm-up, though, is expected into tomorrow as we're going to start to see this ridge shift off towards the east. Southwest flow starting to pick up as a result. So we're going to see a little bit of change heading into Friday. A weak system, in fact, brushing by. Temperatures outside just 1 degree in Logan. That's been the frigid spot. In fact, we hit 14 degrees for the high today. That's the warmest you've been since Monday. We were minus 30 Monday morning. 24 right now in Salt Lake, 19 in Provo. Delta 14 degrees, St. George 35. Good evening. Minus 10 still in Vernal. Out the door forecast for tomorrow. We are going to climb above freezing, so we'll get out of the icebox temporarily. 21 degrees as you head out. Hazy skies, about 30 at noon. Highs near 35 into the afternoon. So a frigid start again to tomorrow. We're going to see air quality remain a concern tomorrow, but that system that's going to move in Friday should improve some of the air. We've got an even larger system into next week. We'll break down more of the timing, what we expect right now. Details on that coming up, guys.
All right, Nate, thank you. We are in the middle of what Utah lawmakers are calling Water Week. ABC4 spoke to conservation experts today who hope momentum will continue to preserve the Great Salt Lake. One bill, if passed, would set specific goals to increase water levels at the Great Salt Lake. Last year, lawmakers approved the Great Salt Lake Watershed Enhancement Trust, which is now taking shape and will soon use the money to lease water that's not being used and send it to the Great Salt Lake.
This is a $40 million appropriation initially, but it's intended to help enhance or retain water flows for Great Salt Lake.
Marcel Schuper, you just heard from, continued to say that the state approved $40 million. The trust will also begin fundraising to enhance the work. They will begin soon. New at 10 every year, the Utah Division of Indian Affairs hosting its annual American Indian Caucus Day. The event is where legislative, state, and tribal leaders all meet together to discuss issues important to tribal governments. This year included updates on current legislation, including the status of Utah's Indian Child Welfare Act, a proposed bill that has now been placed on hold by a legislative committee.
I really hope that both state legislators and tribal leaders take advantage of these events. I really want them to develop strong relationships because strong Native communities really make a stronger state of Utah.
Another topic discussed at the caucus today includes the current status of the Murdered and Missing Indigenous Women and Girls Task Force and how they are continuing to provide safety and reduce violence toward Indigenous women. And in Salt Lake City, the district continues the search for a new superintendent after the Board of Education asked Timothy Gadsden, the first black superintendent in the state, to step down. The newly elected board president, Nate Salazar, released a statement about the decision. He says, quote, "We need our community members to tell us what kind of leader they want at the helm of our school district. An online survey is now open to all community members, regardless of whether or not they have children attending Salt Lake City schools. This survey is available in 8 different languages until February 7th. And the Biden-Harris administration announcing $3.2 million for Utah to improve roads at the local level and tackle national traffic fatalities. Now, this funding targets high crash sites in cities and counties and also supports the U.S. Department of Transportation's comprehensive strategy to reduce roadway deaths, a crisis claiming, listen to this, more than 40,000 lives each year. Today, U.S. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg announcing a historic $800 million in grant awards for 510 projects.
So our country suffers from 40,000 or so roadway deaths every single year. It's about the same loss of life as we experience from gun violence. But I think because we all grew up with it, we're almost used to it. I'm afraid sometimes we think of it as if it's inevitable.
All right, Buttigieg continuing to say that every day matters and is a day that we are losing lives if things continue the way they are. So adjustments need to be made. Coming up, with the national debt crisis looming, top political leaders are facing pressure to make a deal. The latest from the nation's capital. And loved ones laying Tyree Nichols to rest today. Vice President Kamala Harris in attendance, along with family members of other victims of police. That story coming up.
All right, plus a beautiful shot this evening from Park City Mountain. You can see the stars that are out in the clear skies. You can escape the inversion in the valleys by heading up to the mountains. We're going to get some fresh snow for our mountain areas. We'll talk about timing and how much we could possibly get. Details coming up.